We've always done it this way. Is the most expensive sentence ever spoken in a machine shop, and it's the reason some factories go from full parking lots to barely surviving. We've always done it this way is the most expensive sentence ever spoken in a machine shop, and it's the reason some factories go from full parking lots to barely surviving. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Gerald. If you're coming back, welcome back. And if you get value out of hard conversations about real shop problems, hit like, follow, subscribe, then hit that little bell so you know when the next drop comes. Let's talk about something that slowly kills good companies. Not bad companies, good ones. You start with 10 CNC machines. 5 are programmed to do the first half of a part, 5 are programmed to do the second half of the part. That's how it's always been. It works. It's familiar. Nobody questions it. But then someone looks at it, looks at the process, and says, what if we retool 7 machines and run most of the part and then let 3 finish a short pass? Now you reduce handling. Now you reduce transfer time. You reduce whip stacking up. You increase flexibility. It makes sense on paper, in logic, in math. But someone says, no, that's not how we do it. And that's the moment decline begins. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. Because the refusal isn't about tooling, it's about identity. When a shop builds its systems around comfort instead of adaptability, it starts aging in place. Let me tell you about a shop I knew. 2 full parking lots. You had to circle to find a spot. Every machine running, noise everywhere, energy. Then slowly orders shifted, margins tightened, competitors got leaner, technology moved. Instead of adjusting processes, they defended them. Instead of retooling, they rationalized. Instead of asking engineers to innovate, they told them to maintain. Fast forward, half a parking lot, rows of machines idle, talented people gone, and the leadership still saying it's just a market. No, it wasn't the market. It was rigidity. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Idle machines aren't just capacity problems. They're imagination problems. If you have multiple machines but no jobs running, why aren't you reverse engineering parts? Why aren't you quoting more aggressively? Why aren't you building prototype capability? Why aren't you diversifying? And why are your engineers sitting on their butt? Because that requires change. And change threatens control. Many shops don't fail because they lack equipment. They fail because they lack adaptive thinking. Now, let's talk about engineers. You hired them to solve problems, to optimize, to improve cycle times, to redesign flow. But what happens when every suggestion gets shut down with, that's how we've always done it? Eventually, they stop suggesting. Innovation dies quietly. And Once innovation dies, growth follows. That's something psychological happening here. Familiar systems feel safe, even if they're inefficient, even if they're outdated, even if you're bleeding money. Safety feels better than uncertainty. But manufacturing is not a safety game anymore. It's an adaptation game. The shops that win are the ones that can pivot tooling, programming, staffing, and quoting strategy faster than the next guy. If your competitors can reconfigure faster than you, they will eat your lunch. Now let's talk about fear, because that's what this really is. Retooling 7 machines of 5 and 5, that introduced risk. New programs, new tooling costs, new training, temporary production dip. Leaders that are insecure about short-term drops will always choose long-term decline over short-term discomfort. That's the pattern. Avoid pain today, pay it exponentially tomorrow. And here's the saddest part. The operators see it. They know when a shop is coasting. They know when machines sit too long. They know when management refuses to pursue new business. It's in all the conversations, all the little whispers, and morale drops because nobody wants to be on a sinking ship. This ties back to everything we've talked about before. Morale, retention, accountability, downtime. It's all connected. A stagnant process creates stagnant people. Now, let's talk about the parking lot test. Look at your parking lot compared to 5 years ago. Is it fuller or is it emptier? If it's emptier, ask why. Is it automation done right? Or is it contraction disguised as efficiency? There's a difference. Adaptive automation grows revenue per employee. Stubborn stagnation shrinks opportunity per employee. Be honest about which one you're living in. Now, I'm not saying change everything overnight. I'm saying question everything regularly. Challenge layout, challenge flow, challenge programming, challenge assumptions. Because if you don't, the market will. And the market doesn't negotiate. Here's the bottom line. Machines don't kill shops. Mindsets do. The phrase, we've always done it this way, feels harmless. But it's a ceiling. And ceilings stop growth. If this conversation makes you uncomfortable, good. Discomfort is the beginning of adaptation. If you're running a shop, you know deep down there are processes that haven't been challenged in years. That's exactly where improvement starts. And if you want help identifying those blind spots, restructuring flow, optimizing machine utilization, or building an adaptive culture instead of a defensive one, that's what I do. I work with shops that want to grow not just survive, because survival mode is temporary. Adaptation is sustainable. Don't let comfort shrink your parking lot. And I'll see you in the next video.